All right, are we good?
Here
Yes.
it goes. Hey everybody, sorry we're so late.
Really late.
Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I am so sorry. I apologize. I know you don't want to hear all the technical difficulties that we had, so I'll spare you the issues. But thank you for hanging out with us and bearing with us. All of you guys who are in the chat, Brittany's World, Nahor, Vlogs, Lane Viz, Jennifer, Michaela, Divya, Brittany. Oh, and Chelsea Crockett's there too. What? Who's
Oh
Chelsea
my.
Crockett? Hey guys, how are you?
We're doing well. Well, technical problems happen sometimes. And so, guys that you're all watching, we are just really sorry. But you know what? Sometimes computers do crash on us and we have to restart them and kind of get things synced up and all that. So thank you for your patience. But hey, I think we're going to have a great time. So,
And that one chick I said
Dan and I
that
have been looking forward to this conversation for a while. Ever since we met you, actually. So here's the story for those of you guys who maybe don't know. So we met Chelsea and Brendan 2 weeks ago.
Was that all it was?
Was it 2 weeks
I
ago?
don't know. It seems like a long time ago now.
yeah, I think it was only like 2 weeks ago, honestly.
Yeah. So we were at
Travel.
CVX Live, and we were doing the Void virtual experience thing.
yes.
And that's where we
Yes.
first
Really
connected. Then
cool.
we hung out, and I actually have pictures queued up for you guys of like Brendan holding Karis, or one of our twins, and
Yeah.
stuff. It was all like nice and cute, but all that's gone away right now. So, but so while we were hanging out with them, and Chelsea, I want you to tell us about your channel here in a second, but let me
Okay.
intro this. Is that Dan and I are like, man, Chelsea and her dad look like they get along. Not only do they get along, they look like they like each other. It looks like they kind of do business together on some level.
Yeah.
It
Kind of
looks
something like
like,
that.
and then
Yeah.
just by checking out like some of Chelsea's, some of your Instagram stuff and your blog posts and your channel, and Dana, even just from talking to you, I don't know if you saw our vlog or not, Chelsea, but Dana was like, "Wow, this is like a really solid girl." And so I'm thinking like, all right, so they did something right as parents, not only to raise Chelsea, but also there's something that we can learn from you guys about that father daughter parent relationship, that our kids are younger, and so we want to talk with you guys in a second about how do we raise kids so that when we get to where you guys are, that our relationship with our kids is still strong.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so before we do that, Chelsea, quickly, for those of us who are on our channel, our subscribers who might not know who you are or what you do, tell us a little bit about your channel real quick. And guys, there's a link to her channel in the description, or there should be an interactive card, unless that's glitching too.
Well, hi guys. It's nice to like meet all y'all if you guys haven't seen my stuff, but I am a YouTuber. I've done YouTube since I was 13 years old and I'm now 18. So I've done it for 5 years, which is crazy. He wasn't involved in it until like a year and a half in because I entered a competition which pretty much spiked the growth on my channel, which was called
Okay.
the Next Face Awards. And basically it was a makeup competition where I competed live. Why are you looking at me so close? Stop. It was like a makeup competition where I competed live with 6 other contestants on the stage, and I had to do makeup on a model, and I was one of the runner-ups, and that was the first year they ever did it, and it was really nerve-wracking because I was only 13 in front of like a crowd of 1,000 people. So that really got me into the whole like speaking to people, and then that kind of spiked my passion for speaking to younger girls. And my channel has definitely shifted from more of a superficial like makeup channel to more of like a teen inspiration and advice, and also just incorporating things I still find fun, like getting ready for prom or whatever it may be. So yeah, I just like to be relatable to girls and just be someone on the internet they can always go to if they need advice or just someone to relate to.
Yeah,
That's so awesome. That's so admirable. Like, I just
Hey.
love it.
I think Dana's gonna fangirl a little bit, but more out of respect than
No,
than
it
anything else,
is
yeah.
because I mean, I've taken a break on my channel for the last 3 months since the girls have been born.
Sure.
But I get to talk to the moms, and so I
Yeah.
love it that somebody your age already has that passion for the younger girls and girls your age too. So it's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
Cool. So how many kids do you guys have?
6.
Whew. How do
That'll never be me. not
And you're
having 6
looking for
kids.
advice from us, huh?
Yes, because our
Wow.
oldest is 6. So
Yes. Oh,
we've only dealt with the very early years
yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
And we don't know if we're doing it right or not. And because I feel like it's going to be like to where you are right now, where you can see like, oh, this is like we have a good relationship
Yeah.
and this is what we've gone through. This is what worked well, what hasn't. Like we haven't had that experience yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Well-
going to do, real quick, for you guys who are in the chat, Lane Vids is hanging out with us, and he is going to be taking your questions and giving them to Chelsea, Brendan, me, and Dana. Dana and I.
Oh, okay.
Me. Because I want to hear from Brendan and Chelsea first of all here, but you guys definitely ask your questions in the comments in the chat here. And as it relates to this topic of building relationships, maybe you're a teen, you want to know how to get along better with your parent, or maybe you're a parent, we're in our situation. So ask those questions and we will get to them. So
Yeah.
that'd be cool. All right.
Wow,
So
we're
what's your
excited.
advice, guys?
Well, how about if I tell you my story just real quick? Won't
Okay,
take very
yeah, that'd be
long. But I was an only child. So it was just my mom and I. My mom was a flight attendant, and my dad took off when I was born. And so, of course, that makes a unique experience, growing up. And, I'd be the one looking out the window, and you'd see a kid playing with his dad and all that kind of stuff. So my goal in life was to be that super dad. And I don't know, maybe I might be a hovering parent over Chelsea. She's probably shaking her head yes. But it's because I just want to be a part of my kids so much, because I never had that father figure there for me. And so I try to take that extra oomph, but it comes naturally because it comes from my heart. And so that's what propels me into this business. So it's been really fun. It has been an extremely bonding time, not just for Chelsea and I, but for the whole family. The whole family gets to be a part of this business. And, we all get to travel a lot of different places and all that. So we have a lot of fun. And it also allows me to watch what my kids are doing and be a part of their lives, in which I really feel that is very important from a father. So, yeah.
Cool. So what would you say contributed to, like, what kind of things were you doing intentionally to really be involved in your kids' lives? And Chelsea, what do you think about those things that he's about to say?
I can tell you that I'm a part of their lives almost every minute of the day, especially with the YouTube business. The YouTube has been a very big blessing for us, just because we have done very well. Chelsea has been a light onto a lot of things. And, there takes a lot of stuff behind the scenes to make this thing work. And it's a lot of the filming aspect. It's doing all the pre-setup and taking all the stuff down after you're done filming. It's all the post-production. It's handling all the emails and the Instagrams and talking with people and so forth. So the soon that Chelsea gets home from school, I'm asking her questions. Hey, let's do this, let's do that. Or have you thought about this or thought about that? So she probably rolls her eyes at me quite a few times during the day, because I'm always going, hey, business, but that's me. But I think overall, sometimes I drive her nuts, but that's okay from my standpoint. But, I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I think with the topic of like talking about like raising kids and stuff, like the way that they raised me, like growing up, is like I was raised up in church personally, but as we were getting older, it was more of like a choice if we wanted to or not. And I was just always like surrounded by great friends already after just being like in that atmosphere. And so I think that really shaped a lot of like my morals and values. And I think that's just a huge part of who I am. I think it's the biggest part of who I am. And so that obviously reflects on my channel. And I know like you guys obviously want to hear about YouTube, but the biggest part of my life is not even YouTube. It's just like my faith and all of that. And like they definitely had an influence in my life on that. But also I think once you get to be old enough to like choose that for yourself, like you have to individualize that. And so that's like a huge part of who I am. And also he does help me a lot with like YouTube and making the whole like business side just a lot smoother, because I can't figure all that stuff out on my own. And I think that's what makes me a little bit nervous to like go off to college, just because I'm going to need all that, and I'm going to need like a quick answer for a question. I can't just go home or yell down the stairs and be like, what do I do in this situation? So
Yeah.
it'll be a change, but I think it's good, to have change, because it's just going to make me even more independent and work well on my own, I guess.
Yeah.
Time to grow.
Yeah.
Big girl stuff now.
Yeah. I'll be calling you guys when she leaves. I'll be crying and stuff. So.
Well, we got plenty here if you need to give more hugs.
Yes. But
so what advice would you give to Dana and I and other parents who are in our position, who are watching, who are like, we really want that type of relationship? Like, to give us some tips and ideas.
Like, where do you start?
Yeah, and good takeaways for like, this is what we should start doing in our family, or something.
Are there things that are there visions that you've talked about with your kids of like, this is, I don't know, like what is it? I'm drawing a blank. I don't know, like just values that you really made sure that you instilled in your kids?
Yeah. Let me start from the beginning. We had 3 kids in 3 years, where you've had 6 and 6.
We're on par.
It's going to be, I'll be honest with you, there's going to be probably a couple, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years that, you remember it now, but 10 years from now, you're not going to remember some of this stuff, because you're in a situation right now that honestly, it's probably traumatic for you, because you're up all night, getting pulled this way, pulled that way.
And then live streams don't start correctly. That's the most dramatic part of my day so far.
Yeah, and you probably can't see it, but you probably got 2 kids laying on the floor by your feet, and
not
one's
this time, but usually yes.
Yeah, one's probably throwing up or something like that. So there's always something going on, and so but embrace it. Utilize your older kids to really help, and allow them to be a part. Give lots and lots of hugs. More than I would think would be normal. I mean, always hug your kids goodnight, hug them when they go to school, say, I love you constantly. Don't be ashamed to give them all kisses, regardless if they're a boy or a girl. And
I don't like that.
She doesn't like it, but you know what? I still do it. And she's 18 years old, and I still give her hugs and kisses.
Suck it up.
That's one of those things that's like down the road, like 5-10 years from now, you're like, I do appreciate that my dad still did that, even though at the time.
Yeah. Be strong in your faith, and you don't have to shove it down your kid's throat. They will make the decisions on their own. I think, Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken, you were in a bathtub with your mom, or mom was giving you a bath in the bathtub, and you say, hey, what's this? I want to come to the Lord type of thing. So,
I was around 10.
A natural baptism opportunity right there.
I just went ahead and dunked her at that point and said, all right, done. But, things will naturally happen for the kids. If they do, great, praise in that. If they don't, just continue that you guys walk the walk, and they'll see you as an example. And you guys are already doing the right thing. I spent some great time with you guys a couple of weeks ago, and that to me was probably one of the best events that I've ever been to, because what is really cool is that we were all in a thing called a green room. And the green room is for all of the creators and their management and their family and stuff. And I swear, I bet you there was 50 kids under the age of 2 running around in that green room, and everybody embraced it, and everybody was family oriented. And all you got to do is just watch some of those examples, and you can really see that, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the common questions we get is, why do you homeschool your kids? And one of the reasons for that is so that we have more time to be the primary influence in their life.
Yep.
I feel like it's hard if you send them away for 8 hours a day, and then you have some evenings and weekends left with them. But
it is possible. Chelsea, do you go to public school?
Possible, yeah.
Yeah, I've been in public school my entire life. Yeah. So
you went to Christian school the first couple of years, kindergarten.
Yeah, I went to Christian school for 1 year, and I didn't
see. They also correct you, so that's a great relationship.
He doesn't even know my childhood. Just kidding.
So anyway,
but what was the question? I forgot.
I don't know how much school.
You were still able to have that valuable influence in Chelsea's life, even though she was at public school. So it doesn't mean you have to homeschool in order to have that relationship, but you can still
Yeah, there's plenty of time like in the day, like just after school in general, just to like, I don't know, whatever activities you're involved in, whether your kids are in soccer or whatever, just making sure that you're supportive of just everything that they do. Like that's so huge. If you're not, then like how else are you going to bond if you're not bonding over something that they love?
Right.
So I don't know. Also in the summer, just family vacations and just taking time to just be with family. Like even if they ask to like take friends on vacation, like just just like being with family. I think that's bonding moments that we definitely have is we're just on the beach and like forced to hang out together, you know? So
Yeah.
One advice I would give you is get on the floor and eat Cheerios with your kids,
Off the floor?
Yeah, off the floor.
oh my God.
There's
Cheerios don't stay on our floor for very long with 6 kids.
well, yeah, you got a self-cleaning machine.
That's right. It's better than having a puppy dog.
That's right. Because I remember when we had our first kid, if anything hit the floor, I'd freak out. And then like after our third kid, like, oh, wait a minute, that Cheerio's been in that crack of that chair for about the 6 months. I'm like, oh, it should be okay.
Yeah, that's probably
Might be a little stale, but it's all
Yeah,
right.
you're all right. So,
right.
That's awesome.
Cool. That's helpful for us. I feel like we're doing the best we can, but it's always good to get input from people who have done it rather than people who think they're doing it. Right.
Right.
yeah, like you've asked those questions a couple of times. Like I said, it's going to be very, very hard. It's going to be so hard sometimes that you're just like, oh man, how am I going to do this? And it just, I don't hate to say this, but I will. The Lord allows it to happen. The Lord will provide a way. He always does. You're going to feel like, oh man, I can't hear this kid cry one more time. Well, you'll get to a breaking point and then your wife will take over, or she'll get to a breaking point and then you'll take over. And it's a compromise. You guys ultimately made the decision to have 6 kids. So this is part of it. And,
We didn't really decide that. It just kind of happened, but yeah.
Oh,
but embrace
That's
it.
a whole other story.
It
It wasn't planned.
Awesome.
Let's just put it that way.
So I had an EPT stick stuck in the back of my head almost on our third kid. Let's put it that way. It was funny.
yeah, thrilled about it, huh?
No,
We
but,
do have a nanny. She's awesome, super helpful. Having her over here every weekday. So
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially with 6 kids. You're
Yeah.
gonna need the help. We had a lot of help from the church. We had a lot because not Chelsea, but Michelle, my wife, was on bed rest for a couple of the pregnancies. She had a previa placenta on the last one, so she was on bed rest for 4 months. And
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I had to go to work, and so the church came in, fed us, took care of Chelsea and Kylie while Chandler was still, in the womb, and so yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
Well, let's hit up some of you guys' questions.
Yeah.
We have some good ones here from you, and keep asking them. But one
yeah, I
here-
just saw one that I really liked that just came through.
Oh,
Which
which
question
one?
is that?
From Lydia, it said, how do you bond with your children in a society with so much social media and technology?
It's a good one.
Do you want to answer that, or you want me to?
Well, I can give you my
Yep.
Yeah.
side. Just take it away because otherwise it's not going to be like, it's just going to be a distraction. I know like even at the dinner table, my parents will get upset if I'm like texting someone or whatever. So like, I feel like I'm mature enough now to know to be like, okay, I'm going to set my phone away so I can like spend time with the family that I rarely get anyways. So I do that on my own, but if they're not like, they don't want to do that or they're not old enough, then you guys just have to break that into, your daily time together or whatever.
Unfortunately, that's the society that we're in now. It's everywhere. It's going to be hard to take away. And there'll be a point where your kids will be doing all the social media and all that kind of stuff. As a parent, start very early, being very involved, have all the logins, have all the passwords. For example, Chelsea, I am in her Instagram. I'm in her Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I can comment. I can remove comments. I can live through Chelsea, through her social media, I guess what I'm saying is that, it's you can kind of learn more about your kid just by, oh, look at this Instagram post.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's she doing here? And there's also training opportunities at that time too, because there might be a questionable photo or something that will go up on Instagram. And I'm on
When is there ever that?
when she does that or something, she's immediately getting a text from either her mom or myself going, take it down. This is not appropriate, or you're going to misconstrue the wrong information, whatever. Hey, you're 12 years old and you're showing too much belly or something. And I'll say, hey, take it down. And if she doesn't make that decision on her own, I at least have the power of that account to go ahead and do it myself. But I try to make it as a training opportunity for her.
Yeah. How do you spend time with your kids? Well,
it's funny because when she posts something or whatever, you can hear us all yelling across the house going, I see that post, or hey, what about that? So
I always hear my mom upstairs watching my video on full volume, and I'm like, Mom, turn it down. I already edited my face 10 times and watched it again, and I don't want to hear it another time.
That's always weird, when I hear someone else watching my video. It's one thing if I'm watching it, but then I don't know. That's just weird.
When you hear your voice come in the other room.
I'm like, why are you watching me? I'm right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. When I try to film Chelsea, she's like, can you turn around?
Yeah.
I'm filming you. It's kind of hard. So,
let's see. There's a good one here from It's Samantha. How do I bond with my parents in a nice way?
Well, first, be nice to your parents.
Yeah. It's easy for a parent to say.
Yeah. It takes two. It takes the parent to come down to the level of the child or the kid or the student, and also vice versa. The student has also got to say, hey, listen, my parents do know what they're talking about. They have been through this before. And, it takes two. It really does. What other questions you got?
Jesse Madanet. How is your bond with your dad different from mom? Is there a difference of how teens connect with their parents, one over the other, or how we should connect with our kids, depending on gender? I
think it's different for everyone. I think even if you're a girl or a guy sibling, whatever, it's they always say you're either a mama's girl or a daddy's girl or a daddy's boy or whatever. But I love both of my parents because they're both completely different, and I can talk to them differently about different things. And my mom is definitely the person I go to for more personal things, just because she's a girl and she can relate. Mm-hmm. And my dad can't necessarily do that, even though my mom probably goes and tells my dad directly after I talk to her. But usually just hearing from her, and her advice, that since she's probably gone through similar stuff, it's just helpful. And I never really asked my dad too many personal questions, but usually, since we have a unique relationship, since we're both in a business together, it's usually just more business stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
but
you still talk to me about boys and stuff, and why does this boy do this? Why does this boy like sports so much? And, but Chelsea is right. She does, if it's more of a female type of thing, whatever, she'll go to her mom, or a relationship, she'll go to her mom. Yeah, she's correct that the mom will immediately probably tell me most of what the conversation was, if it's appropriate type of thing.
Sometimes they're like, don't tell dad.
and I respect that. And it should be that way, because there's some things that just, maybe dad shouldn't know. But also for Tim, for you, if something is shared to you by Dana that is very feminine related, I guess you would say, don't go, oh man, it's, I can't talk about that, whatever. Embrace it. If you have to go to the store to get some stuff or whatever that's for the daughter, go do it. Swallow the pride pill and just.
Well, I would actually do it and vlog it.
Don't embarrass your girl.
Yeah. This is the first time I've had to do this. I've made it to age 36 or 5. How old
and
am I?
take your sons 35. With you while you have to go shopping for it.
Yeah. So, but. Life happens, they grow up, and you want to be a part of that. So don't allow the embarrassments to get in the way. Just roll with it.
Yeah. Here's a good question from Avery Ensign. Do you guys ever have special bonding times, family? We try to do family adventure days on weekends.
But then we also try to do one-on-one dates with some of the kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your bonding time? Do you have those? And if you do, what do they look like for you guys?
I'll let you start with us, and then I'll go from there.
We don't have like a designated day of the week that all of us as a family spend together. That's honestly, like, nowadays it's kind of rare just because we're all on different schedules and we're all a lot older now, and so we're all involved in different sports or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest hobby of mine. So, I mean, anytime that we film together, that's our designated time that we hang out. So that's us. But whenever I'm like hanging out with my sister or something, I'll just like go in her room, ask her how her week's been, or just like ask her about a certain issue that she's like tweeted about or something. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so I don't know. It's more of a independent effort to just be with everyone in the family.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of time with Chelsea just because of the nature of the business. It's hours daily. I love its business. So she also gets the wrath from me a lot of the times where the other kids don't, because it's, we're under a contract to do this or do that on a particular project for YouTube or Instagram or something. And I'm very by the contract. You got to follow the contract. And, so there's certain times where I'm raising my voice a little bit at her to get things done, but she wants to go out and play and,
Play.
We'll have a boyfriend and, and I'm like, you need to come back. We got to finish this project, et cetera. So there's that.
Balance.
In my daughter Kylie's room, I have a favorite chair. And a lot of time when I have my downtime, relax time, et cetera, I like to go sit in that chair, put my feet up on her bed and just kind of stare at her until she starts talking to me.
Stare at her?
And
that sounds weird.
She will open up and just, we'll just have general conversation about her studies. She wants to be a doctor and she studies a lot and she's very good at it and very proud of her. And we'll talk about her work. Chandler, same thing. He utilizes these thumbs very well. It means that he likes to play games. And so a lot of typing, Minecraft, building stuff. So I will actually partake and just stand over him and watch him build these buildings on Minecraft, et cetera, and just partake into that. And I give him chores to do. And if he doesn't do it, then I have a special bonding time with him when he doesn't do his chores. So that's part of parenting. And then, of course, Michelle, she is the envelope around this whole thing. So she's everywhere at all the time, and I love her to death.
Her bonding experience with all of us, just making good food, honestly.
Yep. So,
she's really good at making food.
So I actually have the luxury of actually working out of the house majority of the time. One day a week I'm gone, but so I see my family a lot throughout the day. So I'm up when they go to school. I'm there when they come home, and I'm there to say goodnight. So I'm always.
Has working on a business together been good for your relationship or not? And the reason I ask that is because that's part of what I'm planning on doing. Right now I kind of do most of it, but the kids are a part of it as far as being like actors and actresses. But eventually, like Hannah's learning to edit already a little bit, and
wow.
She knows how to do ripple deletes in Premiere Pro. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Has that been good for you guys, or like, don't be careful there?
A lot of times, like, I get frustrated just because our personalities are completely different. But that's just because I can get frustrated because he's my dad too. So if it was someone else, like if it was just like a other business partner or whatever, I would probably not get as frustrated. But I think like sometimes just naturally as human beings, you take things out on your family members because you can, and they're going to love you no matter what. Yeah. So that's the only, like, I think downside is like sometimes we'll be in the middle and I'll be like yelling at him because I'm frustrated. But then like as soon as he's like, okay, you're recording, I'm leaving. And then I'm just like, okay. And then I'll start filming.
It's kind of, you ever heard that saying, put on your church face?
Yeah.
It's the same way when you hit the record button on the camera. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Generally the same person on and off camera, but like right before I'm probably getting upset at my dad.
That's why we've had more knockout, drag out fights, meaning, where we're kind of raising the voices at each other out of frustration because we're under extreme timelines.
Right.
And as soon as I hit that record button, she sees the red light come on. She's like, hey guys, welcome to my channel.
I have not been yelling right.
That happens for you guys who are watching who are thinking that maybe our family is perfect. That's just because we haven't shown you everything, right? So no family's perfect.
Someone said that the other day on my video. I took all 6 kids out last week by myself.
For the first time.
Yeah, but it was to Bible study where they were going to go be watched by other people while I went to Bible study.
Sure.
So it was just like getting out the door, put them in the car, take them inside, and then they're in somebody else's hands. But someone was like, you have everything so together. And I was like, well, you only saw less than 6 minutes of what I had together.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, we understand.
I mean, yeah, it's also the, like, you put out there on the internet what you want other people to see. You're not going to give them the, I mean, sometimes it's good to be real, like with certain things, but you can't always just be like, yeah, I just had a 20-minute fight with my dad.
Yeah, let's make a video about that. But like, I'm editing that one.
Yes. But granted, both you guys, Tim and Dana and Chelsea and I, we're real. We're real people. We have the same issues and frustrations and problems as everyone that's watching. Yeah. And, just do it. I mean, just go out and make some videos and just hit that record button and just go for it. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you, because that's the only difference between you as a viewer and us, is that we just started doing it and we never stopped, never quit.
Yeah. So. Let's do like one or two more here. JNC's asked this question a few times. How does your faith play a role in having great relationships with each other? And I'm listening because this is going to be advice for us too.
Mm-hmm. I personally, I love going to like youth groups on Wednesday nights. And then I drive myself to church on Sundays just because we either have something going on or whatever it may be. I love church because a lot of my friends are there and I love learning a lot. And so I think just that at least is like a refreshment for me, and how like my overall attitude should be all the time. And so I guess that flows into how I treat my family when I'm home. I slip up a lot sometimes, but it helps definitely, just especially like having youth group. I never realized how much of a blessing that is, just to be like, oh gosh, this week has been really stressful and I've had a lot to do, but at least I have this designated time to be with my friends and learn something and just not have to worry about the day or the week. Whatever.
Yeah, you have to be comfortable with the faith aspect. And again, this is our feelings. This is our opinions. It's not for everybody that's watching, because we understand not everybody's on the same playing field as we are. But at the turn of the year, she started turning not away, but not doing as much beauty-based type of videos, but kind of starting incorporating more Christian value, big sister type of videos. And I have a huge influence on Chelsea on the decisions that she makes, the type of videos, etc., because she runs them through me and I give her the head nod or no or whatever. And I could easily say, nope, that's going to offend people. We're not going to talk about that. But the fact that I'm strong in my faith, is that allowed me to have enough patience and enough, it allowed me to say yes to her, because I want to make sure that she's doing something that's from her heart and not forced. And because it will never work if it's forced. It has to be something that is from her heart that she wants to talk about. And that's what she chose. And I am supporting her from a dad, also from a believer.
Yeah. Some of the things that we try to do is we read the Bible together at mealtime a few times a week.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, well, the reason is just because nothing's over spiritual. It's just that our kids' mouths and hands are both occupied. So it's like a natural time to do that.
And now they ask for it.
Yeah, now they're like, Daddy, read the Bible. You know, so we do it a few times a week. We also, I don't know, you practice, observe, whatever, like a Shabbat, which is, Sabbath. A traditional one from Friday night is when we start. All right, we open up the big celebratory meal. And it's like always a highlight for the kids. It's the only time of the week they get dessert, and then
that's cool.
Then the rest, and then all day Saturdays, like our family adventure day. So they really look forward to that, and that's kind of how we try to integrate faith. And now, and I know it's like different now because our kids are little, but I hope this progresses in the teen years. Like right now, our kids they want to sleep with their Bibles. Maybe that's weird. Maybe that's too far. I don't know.
Well, it's funny.
That naturally happens to me sometimes because I'll fall asleep reading it. So.
Remember when I had that Chelsea had a couple Bibles, and she took crayon and started writing on the edge, the sides of the Bible. It says Chelsea really big. I'm like, no, don't do that to the Bible. But then I'm like, wait a minute, that's hers.
Yeah.
And that's the way that she wants to, do it. And that's fine. Now, she don't do that anymore, but thank goodness.
I write where I'm supposed to write.
Yeah. But hey, I'm proud of you guys for doing something like that, because it's really hard to get all six together or whatever and to be able to read to them.
Yeah.
So
it's like mealtime, we're already together, and so it just kind of makes sense. And then we have like Bible verses, memory verses up on the wall up next to our kitchen table. So we can, like, while we're sitting there eating, it's just natural, like, oh, what's that one? They got pictures on them and stuff. So it's kind of integrating, like, rather than having a separate time of our day, like, okay, we got to sit down, we got to do Bible studies as a family. It's like, we're eating together, we're all here, let's just do it now,
Yeah. No,
so
it's
do you guys plan on, whenever they get older, to like allow them to like just have friend time over family time? Like, how are you guys, have you thought about that yet?
I don't know. I would just say, like, while we're doing that's a
we don't
tough
know
one.
yet. We don't know yet.
I want to say we'll still have like our concentrated, like, this is our time for our family to be together. Like right now it's Saturdays because there aren't friends.
Well,
pulling
together
them
all
away.
week long because I work right here in our house, but
right.
it's not like dedicated family time,
Right.
Like I've turned off email, turned off like everything.
So I want to say we'll still try to keep that dedicated family time. Maybe it won't be an entire Saturday long day, but like, hey, we're going to do this activity together as a family, and then you can go hang out with your friends.
I'm kind of hoping that this is all theoretical right now. Our
That's
oldest
a tough
is 6,
question.
right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll kind of figure it out as we go, but like trying to invite their friends to join us in what we're doing, so rather than our kids being pulled away. Like, is there another, like, kind of seeing as a discipleship opportunity, where we can invite their friends into our family.
And right now their friends are our friends' kids.
Yeah, and our friends, like our adult friends, our kids see our adult friends as their friends also, which is awesome. I hadn't even thought about that.
So let me ask you this, through your church or one of the local churches there, do you have a thing called Upward Soccer or Upward Volleyball?
I've heard of it.
I know what it is.
That was always really fun.
There is one local, but we haven't looked into it too much.
They do gymnastics, but it's through our YMCA.
Yeah, so the Upward program, just real quick, the 30-second version, let's say it's Upward Soccer. The kids go out and they learn soccer, they play soccer, they do all that kind of stuff. But during the halftime, one of the coaches will actually go do a small Bible study with the kids. And then another coach will actually do a Bible study with the adults or the parents are on the sidelines. And they're both related, so you can actually take that study home and actually talk about it at the dinner table or whatever. Okay. Now, it's not church stuff. It's more just a basic Bible type of study. There's no certain denomination or anything like that. So check it out. You might like it.
Cool. Let's hit up a few more of you guys. Kelsey is here. Kelsey is a friend of ours here in Cincinnati.
Oh, cool.
Her dad is actually the one who hired me and brought us to Cincinnati in the first place.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah.
Hello.
Man, there's so many good ones. Let's see if we can do. You guys want to do like lightning round and then wrap it up?
You want Chelsea to do it or both of us?
The other one that she asked.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, let's see. So Kelsey asked, Chelsea, what did your dad do to earn your heart and trust? And was it natural or was it a work in progress? And then she also asked, and do you tell your dad everything?
No, I don't tell my dad everything. I'll answer that. Stop. I don't tell him everything because he doesn't need to know everything. And just being honest and transparent about the things that he needs to know is important. But I think there's been like one time when I've like disappointed my parents with like lying to them. That was like a big deal, I'd say. But
I made it a big deal.
Yeah, but other than that,
real big deal.
And that I think that's important too. Like, even though I hated it at the time, like making it such a big deal also like curved the path for the rest of the decisions or things I would be honest about like in the future. And so I think you you trusted me until like that point, and then I had to earn my trust back after that. Yeah. And then
teenagers will be teenagers. Sometimes they do things that are not the best path to go down. And I always warn my kids, this is how I will react if you ever do this or that. And so something happened, and I reacted like I said I would, and it scared the daylights out of them.
Yeah.
And it had a lasting effect. Now, deep inside, I was crying. I mean, I was torn. I'm like, man, I don't want to do this to my kid, but I've got to well, that sounds bad, knock some sense into him. But
Well,
I
sometimes.
didn't physically,
maybe, but
so,
maybe.
caveat, I didn't ever touch her, but I was angry, very angry.
Yeah.
And
So then on the flip side, Chelsea, have you always naturally trusted your dad and knew that he wanted the best for you, or was that something that you kind of had to work on?
I mean, I always know that they have my best interests. Sometimes, like, my own thoughts get in the way in terms of, like, thinking that, sometimes I think that I know better than what they're saying, and rarely I do, but like most of the times they do know what they're talking about, and I'll like figure that out down the line. But when I'm in the middle of that like problem or issue, I'm just like, let me learn from this, because I'm a person where I want to learn on my own from things, and like I can listen to advice all I want, but usually I make the decision for myself, and I'm lucky that usually my decisions for myself are pretty good ones.
So one of the advice to you guys is that, you're going to get really frustrated at a certain point where you just want to really get after your kid. That's fine, but let that relax several minutes later. Don't carry that anger. Don't sleep on that anger. Try to get your sorries and your out of the way before the day's over. Because I guarantee you're going to do that with every one of your kids, and probably several times during the day, just because of the fact that you're under such a stressful situation right now with having six kids under 6. Mm-hmm. You're going to lose your temper, and each one of you need to understand that, and understand that it's not you or you, it's just the situation, and you got to just pull away from it a little bit. So.
Yeah.
I hear somebody crying up there.
Okay. Let's wrap up with this question. I think it's a good one for teenagers who are asking it, and even good for parents to hear from a teenager's perspective. Kara Grace asks, what is an easy way to connect with your parents? So kids who want to start doing that, what advice would you have for them, Chelsea?
Well, recently in the past like 2 years, I'd say, I never really thought about the fact that my parents literally give up a lot for me, and their whole entire lives are pretty much centered around their kids. And honestly, that's like pretty selfless. And so being a parent is like hard enough in itself. And so I think just recognizing that they're people too, and that your needs are not the only ones that need to be heard, and that sometimes their days are hard, and that you need to ask them like what's going on, and are you worried about getting laid off or whatever it may be, like just tough things like that, because sometimes they don't have someone to talk to if they're both struggling with something, and they don't really they might not have like friend time like we have with our friends, like being teenagers. It's pretty easy to like have someone to talk to. But
so I think Chelsea should she does have a set of friends that she can confide in, and that those friends will not share with anyone else. Mm-hmm. The same thing goes between with you and I, Tim, is that you and I have a great friendship, and you need to have a tight friendship with someone. I call them an accountability friend.
Sure.
Where I can share anything with you. Like, man, I was frustrated about this, and help me out. And you can come in from the 10,000-foot view and say,
without the emotions and everything.
Yeah, and settle me down, and vice versa. So that was a good question. Very good question.
I feel like from what I hear you saying, Chelsea, it sounds like there's a certain level of humility that you need to have in believing that your parents actually love you and want what's best for you. If you don't believe that, and not every parent does, right? Like let's be honest here. Like most parents, you probably do, but not all. But for most parents, like if you're a teenager, you actually believe that like my mom loves me, my dad loves me, they have what's best for me, and there might be something valuable for me to listen to here. Maybe I have to admit I'm wrong, maybe I don't get what I want, but like that takes a level of humility, I think. So I don't know if that's what it boils down to, but always easier said than done, regardless of your age.
It comes with age. When they're 14, 13, 14, 15, it's all about them.
Yeah.
You just got to know that going in.
Yeah. Well, guys, let me, again, if you guys are just joining in while we're like just halfway through here, Chelsea, tell us quickly about your channel. Again, you guys can find it linked up in the description below. Even as parents, you guys who are watching this, I know you'll get a lot of value there. But what's your channel about again, Chelsea?
Well, welcome to the new people who are joining. But I am a YouTuber. I've been on YouTube for about 5 years. And so I'm 18 now. I started when I was really young. And I originally started with the intent of just making makeup tutorials because I was inspired by the very few YouTubers who were online at the time. And it just kind of progressed into what it is now, which is basically an inspiration platform for teenage girls and just, you know, anybody who's looking for advice from a teen perspective and just from my experiences that I've gone through and just being real and transparent with people and just, you know, doing things I also enjoy, just like getting ready with me videos and all those type of fun things. But, you know, just incorporating everyday life values and stuff. So
now, how do you get to where's your channel at? What's the name of it?
Just Chelsea Crockett. I used to have a screen name, but not anymore.
It's linked in the description here, guys, or interactive card. You can click and go find it easily there. And I think Jamie Kite summarized it. She just said in chat, I just pray that my children speak this honorably of me and know how much their parents love them. This is so awesome to watch. So thank you, Brendan and Chelsea, for encouraging other parents and stuff who are here. Jamie's like, yes, humility, gosh, toddler life is teenage life over here. For those of you guys who don't know, Dana and I live stream here every Tuesday night at this time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, assuming nothing goes wrong. And if you would like to get a text message notification about an hour before we go live, you can do that by signing up for this number you see. Text Smoothies to 43506. That's 43506, and you can we'll just send a notification out via text message so you can get that. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free for you, and you can stop whenever you'd like. But it's just a way to stay in touch because I see so many people are like, oh, I missed this. I wish I knew how this was happening, you know, whatever, you know. So this is our way of helping you guys stay up to date with them. So it'll be awesome. We also live stream on Thursdays as a whole family, which those get pretty chaotic, but we try to keep them toned down as much as we can for you.
And short.
I'll have to watch one of those.
Yeah, that'll be our Thursday night entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Thursday afternoon while the kids are awake, and we try to do something together with them.
It's never at the same time, though, because it's like, when is everybody like in an okay mood? Okay, go.
Sure.
Diapers, So we're like, okay, we can do it for like 15 minutes right now. We'll send the text messages, let everyone know we're going live, and boom, we do it.
That time you don't usually get a 1 hour notice, though.
Right,
it's a little bit shorter of a notice.
Like, oh, we got to do it right now.
Hey, real quick, if you got a second.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Tim, Dana, you guys are doing the right thing. You guys are a wonderful, wonderful family.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of people respect you. A lot of people know who you are, and you know, you've got a name out there. And so, thank you for what you do. Keep doing what you're doing, and I know that you will make it far. You already have, and again, you're doing the right thing. And I thank you for your friendship.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You guys go check out Chelsea and Brendan. Thanks for hanging out. We got a vlog coming up tomorrow of us house hunting, actually.
Ooh.
We're looking to buy a house here soon, and
Hopefully.
So you got 6 kids and you want to buy a house. So how much more stress do you want?
Yeah. Well, we're hoping the house brings less stress. Actually, that's a whole other story. But
the transition in the meantime will bring more.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thank you for hanging out, guys. And we will see you tomorrow for a vlog, and then on Thursday for another live stream, and then on Friday for another vlog. So we'll be around. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks for having us, guys.